I wanted to show you a quick update on my IBM WatsonX.AI models. I switched over to Granite, and because of that, I thought of a new use case that I've had that was not reinforced with AI, and that was me grabbing travel advisories from the US Department of State to know if it's safe to travel. Now, it comes in this RSS format. So what I do is have NiFi read this data, parse it, convert it to a clean JSON, flatten it, what I just updated to make this a little cleaner, and put out this new format that gets rid of all the junk, gets rid of all the white space and HTML and stuff that I really don't want in a database or somewhere else. Just nice, clean, easy to read stuff with no extra material. And I take that and I push that into Kafka, and I could also put it into messages. You could also put it into an email if someone wants to subscribe to that. For testing purposes, I have NiFi run its own little mail server, and the results of that I get sent to a Slack channel, and we'll just run one of those just to do it a test. And we can see we get the mail shows up in over here in Slack. So pretty straightforward. But the main part is we are sending these messages into Kafka, and we could see that messages are getting sent to Kafka. There's all the metadata, and there's the Kafka topic. So we could drop over there real quick and see if we've got new data over here. And we could see we do. You'll also notice it seems to be in a weird format. That's because for this use case, we did Avro with a schema, but you could do JSON, you could do protobuf, bunch of other options. So we have that data. It made it into Kafka, which is great. The other thing we're doing with this data is putting it into DB2 because I needed this stored, and I had space at IBM Cloud to put it, so I sent that data there. So if we go over to my DB2 database, we could see the format of the table. And I recently updated this to add this new field summary that AI is going to update for me. But you can see this was just that data that we read off of the travel site. So we're pretty good there. But what I'll show you next is we're going to grab all this data we put into Kafka, clean it up and format it to use with AI. And as you can see, I've got a lot of these in the system right now, cleaned up and ready to launch. Only so many of these I want to call against my large language model. I know that IBM Cloud makes this easy, and running this Granite Instruct model is fast. Things are cached if they need to be, but you don't want to run more models than you need to. I learned which one I wanted by playing around with the prompt lab, which is a great way to explore the different models, try different things out. And when you're ready, you get all the code here. And if you weren't using NiFi, you could just use curl or something else. But I took that code and reformatted that so I could do it in NiFi. First thing you got to do is grab a token. Once I get a token, I send the token off to the model, along with we need a special format to send, which tells us which model we're using. And I send my input data with a couple parameters, and we run that through, get our results back, query that data, add a couple extra fields here, reformat some, get rid of some of the prompt data. And I'm pushing this into another Kafka topic, which we took a quick look at before. This one's in JSON. Again, this is so we could share this with anyone else that might want to have that. And as well, I'm going to clean this data up and use it to update that table in DB2. So if we pop over to DB2 and I can run a query now, I could see we got more records coming in, and that's adding a summary field. Pretty straightforward, but gives you an idea what we're doing there. I'm also taking that data and sending it to Slack, which you could see my Slack channel is popping up here. And you can see it took this large travel advisory and shrunk it down to just what you need, a nice summary that it's, CDC says COVID-19 might be the reason not to or be careful visiting this country. Pretty straightforward. Now we pushed all that stuff to Kafka, which means now I can do real-time queries on it using FLaNK SQL, and I can see I'm getting my domains and categories. All that stuff's coming back. I can push that into a materialized view, so I can use it in a dashboard or Jupyter Notebook. Really easy, real-time integration of these new Granite models with in WatsonX, with NiFi, Cloudera DataFlow, and as well as Kafka and FLaNK, all to solve some fast real-time problems combining streaming and large language models. Thanks a lot.